Seriously, you were recording this whole time.
Nah, it just started because I couldn't figure out how we wanted this to look. Um, but I do like what you were saying, Davis. So like starting from the bottom and going up, and we'll just start with minors, and then um, yeah. The thing is, just there's so many teams, so it's like almost like instead of really trying to make it super structured, we'll just split up the times and then um, do it later with like another group to finish out whatever teams we don't talk about now. But
That'd be cool.
yeah, so we have the power rankings as we can go up from there. And I don't know, Andy, do you think I need
We
to?
starting with Knoxville?
Yeah, because
What was
they're
their
They were
rank?
put at 16th.
yeah.
Or
They're
16th.
crazy.
If you
Yeah,
look
they were
at
put at
the
16th in
No
the power ranking.
way.
That's what we were. I think. Oh wait, you might have not been in here yet, but
I
we.
think
That's the
I had
first
him
thing.
actually lower,
Yeah, well, we had them like
which is
up.
apparently a hot take to look. I
What?
don't remember what their team looks like,
I think I
but
put them at like six.
if you
Honestly,
guys watch the stream in Discord, I've got the team pulled up and the PR right next to it.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm
Okay.
looking at the
Let
stream
me see
right
that.
now. I didn't see the PR part. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. No way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have the PR part on the stream.
on the left. Is it not there?
I just see the one
I'm trying to
spreadsheet.
think of why I had this team so low because it does look pretty decent.
This team strikes fear in my heart.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I was just afraid that because he got that Dragon Ball fell so low, and then this man got him at 14. Then
But
yeah, with the Grim Snarl.
his utility mons are crazy,
Yeah.
and he could use Mew as utility if he really wants to.
Mew got
Davis, do you see it now?
mega nerfed in this gen
Now I see
though
it.
right
Now I
now,
see it. Yeah.
Okay.
but you are correct. Like his team is pretty good.
So I think I said I think
So,
people just didn't know. Like I don't think people know how good like Breloom still is and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Breloom's pretty good.
So the thing is I know like by looking at this that he has some idea of how to play Pokemon at a greater level, just because of things like Masquerain and Hisuian Electrode. Like Hisuian Electrode and Masquerain at first kind of look like frail and weak, but they have a lot of utility that they can take advantage of. The thing that I
I
know, go ahead. You
no
want
no
to?
no. You're good.
Yeah.
You're looking at the stuff while you talk.
So like Electrode it's so fast, and the thing is
Yeah.
because it's a grass type now, there's built-in resistances that it has. It also will block Spore and stuff like that. So it's like I think it's just a straight up upgrade in some respects from regular Electrode, and it gets most of the same moves. It now has like stab with grass, which can be good in a lot of instances, especially when before, you might want to volt switch on it, but your opponent could switch in something that's ground type. Now you can like read and make a play because it has access to some grass moves and the grass stab. And with Terra, I feel like there's a lot going on there with Electrode now. So I think that that's a great Pokemon. I think that was like a sleeper pick that I almost picked up myself. But then on top
I
of
think
that,
they're gonna.
yeah, then on top of that, it's like the team just like has a lot of mons that are very versatile and like in under the right brain can be really strong.
These
Bronzong,
last picks weren't throwaway picks, like
yeah.
any of them.
Basque Legion's like infamous on the random battles ladder for just being like the late game sweeper because
Yeah, but Basque Legion doesn't get last respects, so
is it banned? It might be
it's
banned in our
banned.
format.
Yeah, it's banned in our format.
Oh,
So I
in
kind
Gen
of just
9.
neglected that one, so because
Mm.
that was kind of a.
I'll say that was like the only
I
pick
mean, it does
though.
get adaptability and stuff like that. It's still decent, but it's not
I
anything
don't. I
crazy.
think it's smooth. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Is
all
it
the stats are solid.
how fast is it?
Base
Pretty
speed
slow.
78, but like its HP is 120.
I think
Yeah.
72 is scarfable for certain matchups. Like that's just I think around 80. It's not gonna outspeed things like Dragon Bullet, but it's like it can surprise your opponent by hitting something that they're expecting it to be faster. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the matchup that I think about was when I was playing Kaiten a few seasons ago, and he scarfed his Tapu Bulu, and I lost my Landorus in that match, and it totally changed the tide of the match like instantly. And I think that that's a Pokemon where it's like it's really strong and it will probably live a hit and be
Yeah,
faster.
he proved like with his picks that he could probably manipulate him in an effective way.
His brain's spinning, and so
Hey, I'm gonna say it now. As long as he doesn't fumble this, he's gonna be in majors next season.
I think he could.
Yeah, I think he could. I think this draft really it definitely gives me Caton vibes. Like you mentioned
Mm.
that, and I think that's pretty on point. I think the reason I had it lower is because his offensive threats aren't that crazy. I think he's got really good utility, but
He's got
defensively it's
Yeah,
Dragapult and
yeah.
Breloom, and that's
strong
it.
sweeper.
Mew can
So
set up, and I feel like Mew's always like a force to
yeah,
be reckoned with.
it lost a lot of moves with the move cuts.
I think Moltres is also stronger than people give it credit for.
No, I think it's good too, but it's hard to run its specs or anything like that because then you have to worry about rocks the whole game. You
Hmm.
almost have to run boots. I don't know. It's good defensively with boots, I think, but I think offensively it can be a little
Mm.
bit
all,
risky.
all I know, I want to say it was Johnny who used the Moltres on me, and he never gave me the set or the EVs, but that put
I
all the
remember that
respect in my
Moltres.
heart
That
for
Moltres
Moltres.
blasted me too. Don't worry.
Insane.
hmm But I definitely think I think it's underrated. I don't think I probably should put him as low as I did. Now that I think about it, but
What'd you put him at?
I think that I put him at 15. I think,
Yeah, I was gonna still say I
but
think it's definitely top 10.
yeah, Dragapult and Breloom I think were my biggest thing. Is like, granted, he has got a lot of utility, but
Mhm.
Dragapult and Breloom, that's it offensively in my mind.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
like
don't give
everything
out
else
any
is pretty
sauces though.
utility.
Everything
They,
else is more utility, which is like a huge Caton draft, and Caton plays fucking crazy well with that kind of style. But I don't know. I don't know this guy, so
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel like just picking enough utility though just proves alone that he's probably experienced with it,
yeah,
or
for
else why would
sure.
you
Yeah,
pick?
who's next? Who's next?
We're going on to Aspersha City Leaf
Yeah, we
Storm.
could skip that one.
this one's kind of lame.
Yeah.
Asperita Leaf Storm. Some.
What?
This is
Hold on, let
interesting.
me see. And where was he at? 15. Oh, he was tied
Yeah.
technically.
I think
Oh,
that Andy was saying though the stats would probably lean towards switching them, but
Yeah,
it was
Like with the calculation.
yeah.
yeah. I guess
Knoxville just
look
had
at
such high variance.
when it's two decimals at least, they're
hmm
tied. I would assume that maybe Brian's decimals go a little bit
this team is nasty.
better.
We got a
They
lot of
should be like
threats.
a top five or at least top half of the power rankings.
So I will say this: there, first of all, the two trades were a good improvement.
Those are good.
Um,
The
because initially there
Musketeer
was a
was very nice.
conversation, yeah, there was a conversation about how they drafted Torkoal with no real Pokemon that could take
That was my
advantage.
thing. I think when I put him in the rankings, I did it off of the old team because I don't remember some of these mons being there.
Yeah,
No, that
Leafeon
is true.
is number one more defensive than it should be. It gets chlorophyll, and I think it has a pretty decent attack stat. It's like 110 or
Yeah,
something.
it's
And
like
most people
110.
run the
Yeah.
Swords Dance set with it if they're trying to really get after you with it.
It gets baton pass too, so it's like that's a great pick.
I believe Zarude gets like Leaf Guard or something like that.
Yeah,
That
Zarude in the
works in this
10th is
time.
wild.
Zarude literally lives in all the random showdown like modes that they have. So I like the pick personally. I re-
I think it's good. It's just
Yeah.
4 times weight to U-turn is never good. You know what I mean?
fair. I think Mudsdale's my favorite pick out of everything on this team.
Mm. Mudsteel's
I
cool. I just
agree. I think Rotom-Mow has
I was gonna say
interesting.
Rotom is a good
He
yeah.
pick.
also has Iron Valiant, which is, I mean, I don't know how well he'll play with it or not, but
And
Iron
Iron Leaf.
Valiant is hands
Bro,
down the
Valiant's
best
yeah,
pick
just
in the draft.
crazy. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I think that Pokemon like Galarian, Moltres, Mudsdale, maybe even Overquill. I don't know much about Overquill, but those two like at least are harder to play with if you're not super experienced. Like I think one of my first seasons I played, I drafted Mudsdale because Stamina's super sweet, but
Yeah.
it ends up not really paying off as much as you would think it would. It's always a threat because I think it might get body press still, so you're getting like the boost, and then you know are effectively boosted for your body press, but it you just switch in a special attacker and it doesn't mean anything anymore, you know, or unaware like Quagsire shuts down Mudsteel. The Terra it might be a different battle, but
Mm-hmm.
I see what you mean. It's like if you keep picking, if you learn how to use them though, still he can still use them in an
mm,
effective way.
Galarian Moltres is really cool too because it's like the Berserk boosting is can be really different, like really tough to deal with, especially when it gets agility. But it takes a turn to like you have to make the right decision on when you're getting that boost or when how you're taking your damage, and it's just a lot of factors for those Pokemon, I think.
Am I tripping? So he got Iron Leaves with his 11th pick or whatever pick it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, it
7, 8.
looks like it.
That
Uh,
Yeah.
eighth.
crazy. Okay, I
Yeah.
like.
I don't know much
But
about
then
Iron Leaves.
again, four times week to U-turn, and he's got two of them. So
Yeah,
Oh,
but you gotta be
it's a
faster. You gotta be
little
faster for
stressful.
it to matter.
so many Pokemon get U-turn or pivot moves.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like Volt Switch and stuff, or didn't they
Yeah.
add the one parting shot?
Oh, parting shot's great. Flip turn, they got
Yeah.
teleport. I mean, baton pass. There's a ton. You could even say like memento,
Mm.
but
I mean, shit, they got an eject button.
yeah. But yeah, I think it was just like there was probably a big lack of synergy here, at least at the first
I
pass of
think
the
that was
draft.
my big pass because
And
he didn't have Typhlosion when I was there.
mm,
This
No, no,
I think
no.
reminds
at least.
the last thing I'll say. This reminds me of my first season in the league where I tried to make a rain team, but I didn't pick up like a Kingdra or anything with Swift Swim.
mm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like him with Torkoal, but he didn't have Typhlosion. It was I don't remember who it
Yeah.
was, so it was
He
zero
he
usage.
drafted he drafted Sun and missed a couple key Sun
Sun God,
threats.
yeah,
Yeah, like he didn't get a Protomon. He doesn't have Skull Villain. He doesn't have Hisuian Lilligant or something like that that can just abuse the Sun in ways that nobody else can. So
Fair.
those picks are kind of scattered. So when he brings Sun to those games, then his
yeah.
Son gets abused against himself,
He just
which
snagged
is
like walking weight, walking weight went
unfortunate.
so
Yeah,
late.
yeah. I mean, seriously.
I think I think we covered
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, I agree. So moving on to Jolteons. Where do I
To Slick Rick. I
keep?
also couldn't. I did not put him there.
Yeah, I mean the variant wasn't that different. This was like there's a lot of like coaches where like everybody kind of ranked them in the middle, and yeah, I feel like
I think
those
enough
coaches
people
got
just
pushed
kind of
down.
know, like in this minors too, like who's new. So I feel like even though you're going off roster, I feel like that like was the turning point. But I don't even think he's new. I think he has experience. He had a
Ricky
great
does
draft
have
pick.
some Pokemon experience. I don't know if it's a ton,
Like
but it's
competitive or
some. Well, he's at least familiar with like Showdown and stuff. You know what I mean? So
I
it's
mean,
like he's played it before.
Like he's been around the block of
I don't
Showdown.
know how much he's played it, but he has.
I mean, that's like a turn from versus people
Mm-hmm.
that didn't that you had
it
to explain
matters.
Showdown. Yeah,
It matters because if you didn't and then you go play, you're not used to the amount of times people switch in and out, and then it's
mm-hmm.
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's a shell
Let me
shock, man.
see. Where did I have Ricky?
Oh, it was my man's. I remember him. Was he the Sharks last time? Did we say that already?
No.
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 This is a rookie. So I
Still
will
a
say,
bird boy.
oh yeah, to the credit of you know a few of these teams, we have like a bunch of true rookies this season,
Mm-hmm.
and this is one of them. Aspersha is also a rookie, and Knoxville is as well. Um,
The rookies are drafting well. I mean, out of the rookies, this might be the that we've seen so far. This might be like this is like what was the first team we looked at? Knox.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like how Nox has all the utility. This team has like all the sweepers, but like no utility.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Mesprit.
Yeah,
super
I
heavy.
think that was my big thing with it was that like his team is scary, but in terms of defensive utility, I would only really say
Oh my gosh,
Zapdos.
I'm looking at this now, and this is just San Francisco 40
Yeah,
Torchics,
this
bro.
is some sod vibes for sure.
Can you imagine show up to the match and Ricky brings the first four, no, all six of the first six Pokemon he drafted?
He probably will.
He
That's
br-
what I
And
like
that's a
swap,
scary team.
yeah.
bro, swap out Charizard for like Glastrier or something.
I was gonna say
But
I didn't really like the Charizard pick, but like I looked at his like pick and like that's what I kind of got. Like I think he has played before, but it's like going with his dream team type of strategy.
right, your
Don't
your
sleep
favorite
on
team
that
is an 11-year-old.
Jolteon. Don't sleep on that Jolteon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his mascot, so he might whip it out every
I would.
match.
I
Every
would.
match.
I'm a big fan of the fast, like special attacking electric type that has Volt Switch. Like Manectric, I was using that a lot when I first started playing competitive Pokemon. Uh,
Oh, dude, I
the
like
Voltor
him.
or Electrode, then Jolteon, Regieleki now, like they're all
You're in for like a
super
free switch
useful.
in, like a free chip damage switch in
Mm-hmm.
to like whatever you want.
Jolteon's one of the better ones because it has the Volt Absorb, so it's an immunity as well. And
Hmm.
does Volt Absorb, is it HP or does it power it up? I
It
can't.
is
HP.
HP.
I think
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
lightning rod that powers you up.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But if you match that like Jolteon up with like a Sap Sipper, a Zoomerl, then I mean that's a
Mm-hmm.
problem right there.
Yep.
And he gets his switches
Mhm.
perfect. Then I guess yeah, that makes up for his lack of utility.
Yeah.
He can use Mesprit as a utility mon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, for
Seattle
sure.
used Mesprit, I think maybe last season, and
Yeah, it was season 3. Yeah,
the
he used
Calm
it pretty
Mind
well.
Mesprit set, bro, it's like
And
just like Cresselia. It's like your Cresselia, but
No,
I think
I
it
can't. Yeah, I can't
hits a
stand
little
that
harder.
Pokemon.
the wall of Cress.
Oh my god.
I loved using Mesprit in Azumarill last season.
Oh, Brian's in here.
Oh, I was like, who the?
Yeah.
Yo,
A new
Brian,
player.
bro, you gotta get off the AM
Brian's
radio,
in his
bro.
car.
No,
He's in his
dude,
car for
this
sure.
dude's on
He's
his this
falling all
dude's
the way
on
from
his
Seattle for sure.
yeah, dude, get off the rotary phone, my guy.
Yeah, bro. You
What
gotta
about now?
get your new mic, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
better.
better.
Dude, I don't know what that was earlier. That was
You
like payphone
driving? Are you in
quality
your car?
service.
Bro, he's calling from
It
Don't let
scared me.
the
I
phone,
thought
the
someone
car
played a
phone.
soundboard. I thought that was a soundboard thing. I was
Oh.
like, haha, real funny. Like whoever hit it.
Yeah.
I'm whipping it right now, so y'all caught me.
You sound a lot better
Brian, bro, get off the phone. You're driving.
Hey, that's
No,
illegal in
bro.
Ohio now, bro.
Said no, I gotta be here, bro.
I think I can just not look at my phone and
Yeah.
be straight.
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay.
Why would you look at your phone and be gay?
So
That was my bad
Jolteon.
joke
And
of
we
the
gotta
day.
delete the video.
All right.
now. The
Run it
NBA
back.
would like to make sure you know we are not homophobic, transphobic, or anything like that. Thank you.
And
But no,
everybody
yeah, I
been
love
wiling out.
Thank you.
I love this coach's first 5 picks, and really enjoyed using Azu and Mesprit last season. I had a lot of success doing that. Garchomp is a really cool pick too, but I don't love the Charizard pick. Like some people have said, I feel like that was a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
Res-
Well,
respect to
especially
the
at
OG.
6.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if he got Charizard at 6 and got the last pick as Glastrier, I think God was looking out for him.
Yeah. That's facts.
Bro, Lucario?
Yeah, I knew
That
you
thing
like that
is
one.
I guess.
The
MF
Doomfist,
who?
dude.
bro.
I like
That
the
thing
Zapdos
is
one
crazy.
the most, though. I think yeah, Zapdos, Garchomp are my favorite ones.
Yeah.
MF Doom.
Yeah, bro.
It'll
Who's
be interesting
next?
to see.
But yeah, I think this team, like I think Oga said it best. It's like it's full of a ton of threats. We'll have to see how this coach uses it. Um,
Mhm.
but there's there's maybe a little bit of like a one track strategy going on here.
He can make up for it on the waiver wire. I still think there's
Yeah.
like way more than enough.
Don't be afraid to trade. That's my advice.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to underground nose passes. So
Oh,
this was a
Oh,
doozy. The first time in NBA history that we have a major and minor division, and the first time that we've seen two tier ones go in the first two rounds for a single
108
roster.
points. 108 points going into the third round.
Yeah, insane.
It's a record.
Drafts his first
wow.
name, so this is Dino. His name is Dino. So he drafted Dino. You have to. Didn't draft Hydreigon. Just
No. Or
drafted the
or
first two.
or the Iron Juggalist, dude.
Yeah. So from what I heard, I think that Dino was gonna he's been on TikTok and he's been watching people do like the fear Rattata strat and then like
Like the
pimp night videos.
6Q videos or 6T videos.
Yeah.
And
He
so
Where he
actually
he's
just
like
like,
quit his job
runs
too.
into AG and just like Endeavor, like
yep,
shed
quick
shell
attack.
or shell bell bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he
Especially
was wanting to do like almost a full team of that, and then somebody told him, "Oh yeah, your Pokemon have to be level 100. Like you got to make sure that they know the moves you want them to know because it's changed." And then he's like, "Oh crap!" And so then the third round he picks up a Moongus and kind of drafts regularly from there. So that was happening mid
We
draft.
That's
we
All side though, like he has some workable Pokemon
Yeah,
here.
for
So
sure. Yeah.
and some big threats. Landorus is always
yeah,
gonna
dude. Those
be good.
picks 3 through 8 are kind of crazy.
Yep.
I agree.
So you got for his core. So Amoonguss, I guess Enamorus is kind of bulky. He just has really mainly offensive Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If I was understanding it correctly, he has like a lot of bulky Pokemon, like very like tanky.
I was saying the opposite. I was saying that he has Amoonguss as like a defensive option, but the rest of them are almost all offensive.
Yeah. Like it's
I
like
had the
offensive
Sasha scarf.
utility.
I had the Sasha Scarf Hoopa a lot when I used it.
Oh, he has Hoopa?
Yeah, he's got
Yeah,
Hoopa.
he's
That
got
thing
Hoopa
is
on
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be forgetting about
Yeah,
that.
he's just got a bunch of threats with Amoonguss. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, some of these, like we talked about for Ricky's team, you can like flex them. Like Enamorous Incarnate has good defensive typing. You could probably run that bulky of some way with draining Kiss or something. And then he's got just an unbelievable amount of setup mons, which is the big scary part.
Does Volcarona
Like
still get
Bax,
defog?
Volcarona, I don't think it gets defog now.
Does
Mm-mm.
Famigo? Because I don't think he
Oh,
has a.
Flamigo does.
Okay.
Yes.
Doesn't have a lot of options to remove hazards.
No.
Oh, so he's got to run him every week.
Doesn't have a pull. Oh, well, he does have a poison type. But
Mm.
If he plays the switches right though, week to week.
to be fair to him, though,
come away with
his
some
team
wins.
isn't super hazard weak.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, Volk runs
just
heavy duty
backs.
boots every single time. So
Yeah.
that's not getting hit by anything.
I don't know.
Amoonguss has got Regenerator, Landorus, Incarnate, and Enamorous both don't touch the ground. Bax runs heavy duty boots anyway. Hoop Unbound
So I
is probably
think
the only
Strongest
one.
mon and make him switch. don't let him run any type of setup and you're good.
Yeah.
You
That's
get
facts.
Haze, you get Taunt.
Just bring Encore.
Yeah, yeah.
So he gets pretty ran over by like prankster status taunt users.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I was going to say is that this is probably similar to the Jolteons in that it's a lot of offensive power. I would say that their picks here are more threatening, I think, with the current meta and how we have like basically full teams of legendaries. But yeah, I mean the three tier 1 pickups are also probably hurting a little bit because it removes some of your variability between weeks, and so you can probably always count on most of the same 8. So he has 8
Much
Pokemon that'll
easier to
work
prep
well.
for.
Yeah.
But like there's like a very set strategy he has to run to be successful.
That's fair.
With a roster minimum of 9, like I know Rutgers is at 9, but they even have more, you
That's
know.
crazy. That's
Mhm.
yeah.
So that's the only thing I would say. I don't know if anybody has anything else though before we move
I don't
on.
think I have anything else.
For better
Cool.
or for worse, you're going to make history. That's what I got to say.
That's
Yep.
facts. There you go.
I
He'll
think
get some
Dino.
dubs.
I'll say this too. I know Dino plays a lot of games, so I think that he has the mentality to be good if he puts in the effort. The first two picks are making me feel like he's just gonna he's just gonna coast, but we'll see.
Like
So
he's gonna have
Mhm.
fun either way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Savannah Vipers.
Mm.
So everybody
Those are
likes
pretty.
Roaring Moon. I know that. Um,
The
got the
Glamussi.
Glamora. Yep,
I love
Mhm.
Glamora, dude.
bro.
Glamora my favorite when
I
the
mean,
game
look,
came. Oh, and
his
Blake, yeah, you were
team.
trying to convince me in like
Huh?
10 ways about Glamora's just this basic whatever. When
Wait,
Scarlet
what?
Violet first dropped, and I was like, Glamora's my favorite. You're like, that's just something. You were
Was
roasting
I
me.
talking about the design? I think I was talking. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was getting
dude.
a hype about some of the Pokemon designs, bro. I was not happy with a lot of the
Dude, I like
Scarlet
Glamora,
and
man.
Violet.
I like
Yeah,
Glamora.
it's okay. It's so different, but it's like I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it's
It's like
actually
those things from Destiny, Andy. Those Vex things. That's what I always. That's what
Yeah, I
Glamora
know what you're
reminds me
talking
of.
about. Yeah,
I
it
think
does
it's
look
like
like
a
those.
stalactite in the game too. So I think that that's actually kind of interesting. It's like based on like a rock and not like an animal.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, this
Yeah, I
I
team,
like
feel.
this team.
yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon that are super annoying here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I give this team. This team gives me similar vibes as who was it? Knoxville, where they have like a lot of bulky Pokemon and not a ton. Like his true only offensive threats are Moon and Lokix,
mm.
maybe
No,
Delphox,
we're
which
Halucha,
are
bro.
Oh, Lucha.
You
Yeah,
got
the
Lucho.
luchador, dude.
Lucha is. I mean, personally, I like it more for utility than I do offensive threat. It's a good
You're
unburden
silly
sweeper.
for that. That's a silly statement. I'll say that.
Bro, okay. I want you to search Lucha and tell me what its attack stat is.
Bro, you
I'll
can't
do it
tell
for
me
you. Hold
that
on.
with how many times I've either swept or been swept by Hallelujah, bro. That thing is always gonna be like something I'm scared
Its
of.
attack
He's still
stat
got
is
Delphox though
under
too. And
100.
Delphox a special
It's
like
very
sweeper.
fast. If it can get a sword stance up, it's a good unburden sweeper. But other than that,
The typing too is crazy. But
plus there's not a lot of terrain that's super useful. You know what I mean? So you can't get the
yeah.
easy seed terrains right now.
Yeah.
Um,
And they
I
and
don't know.
they don't
I
have
love the
any.
pick. I picked Halucha, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's offensively crazy.
Hmm.
That's my thing.
So this is
I
where we're
think
starting
that's
to
fair.
see like a little bit of the teams like synergy start to come together a little bit, I think. So like
Mm,
there's a mix of really strong offensive threats and then also really annoying bulky Pokemon and then some like utility going on. So we've already
mhm.
talked about Glamora, we talked about some of the offensive threats. Dondozo I know is
The
like a
Dozo.
The
wall,
worst.
but like one of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
worst Pokemon to try to crack through right now.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah, it's
It's
really
annoying.
good. That and Galarian Slowking is a pretty solid core. Like it's a really good core. The only other problem I think I saw with this team when I was looking at it was Earthquake kind of runs through this team
Mm.
pretty
Mhm.
hard. But
Yeah.
other than that, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Like no.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
like
actually, pretty
he's
much
got one
everything
mon
is.
that can not that doesn't get hit by Earthquake.
A couple air balloons, couple
Low
might
kicks resists
era.
But like
it.
almost everything
Yeah.
that gets hit by it really gets
Yeah.
destroyed by
Just
Yeah,
flat.
Earthquake.
like the only thing I think on his team that can actually take an earthquake is Dondozo. And
Yeah.
maybe low kicks can take one.
Dozo is crazy though.
Probably
That
I think
dude's a
low kicks could
maniac.
probably take one cuz people
It could take
forget that
one because it resists.
mhm.
But other than that, I don't think
You don't think
that's
he
the
can just get
biggest
away with
problem.
the Dozo body press sweep?
Yeah.
I think
I
it could
mean
happen.
if you bring like a special threat that threatens out Dozo and then an Earthquaker, whether it's banded or whatever, I think you have a pretty good time against this team.
Yeah, I didn't
But
realize. Yeah, he was really susceptible.
Mm.
I think those were my big points, but also on the positives, Halucha is insane utility. I will stand by that.
I looked it up when you
Lamore
told me
is
to, and you're right
really,
for
really
sure.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
running substitute. He runs substitute, doesn't he, Lucha?
how
Lucha
Lucha gets
gets
taunt?
taunt,
I think every
encore,
Pokemon gets sub.
defog,
There's a
I think
substitute.
it's
baton
like
pass.
everything. Yeah,
Like it gets a ton of good utility moves. Roost.
he's
So
It's
the
got pretty
Pokemon
good
that,
typing.
yeah, I think Fighting Flying's great.
I
Um,
agree.
the Pokemon I'm looking at are these last four, maybe the Grafaiai and then Bisharp and Dunsparce.
hmm
Because I think I was looking at Dunsparce I think multiple times during our draft because there's some things.
hmm
Brian actually, I don't know if Brian is still in the call, but Brian was using
I don't think so.
Dunsparce.
Right.
Um, I think 2 seasons ago, and like actually it was serviceable. The Dunsparce is that
hmm
in better now.
Didn't he whip him out in the Invitational?
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
someone whipped him out in the Invitational.
No,
Brian
it wasn't
wasn't
Brian.
playing.
Brian
Uh,
wasn't in it. But yeah, I agree. And then I think Bisharp gets overlooked a lot of the times. I think Bisharp is still good. It was good before King Gambit,
Yep,
and now it gets Eviolite. So what, I don't understand how it could be worse.
yep.
I think the other big problem is most of his offensive threats are also dark. So you don't have a ton of variety on that offense line. But
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
Looks like you said, just bring an earthquake. Generally,
yeah.
probably.
But I mean, Roaring Moon is Roaring Moon for a reason, man. That thing's real good. Acrobatic sets with Terra, Dragon Dance sets, Choice Band sets. He goes up against the Sun. You can just abuse Proto. Um,
Yeah.
he has Grafaiai, I believe. That probably I don't know if it for sure gets Sunny Day, but it gets Prankster. So Grafaiai.
One sec, I gotta listen to this message. I think we're gonna move on to the next team though, but I think there's some synergy happening
That
here.
Grafaiai gets Sunny Day, by the way.
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does. So he could use Prankster Sunny Day stuff. So
and
yeah, I
Baton
think
Pass.
there's definitely potential. Just
Mm,
those are the glaring things that I saw.
mm. This is where we start to see some of the coaching maybe play a big role in this. So,
hmm
I'm gonna move on to the next team, also a Savannah team, Ghastly Pirates.
Oh, oh,
Um, you
oh.
guys talk for a bit. I gotta listen to a memo real quick, but I'll be right back.
So let's look at Ghastly
Ghastly
Pirates.
Pirates. Oh,
Where
this
did
you
I
got
put
your boy
them?
That's impressive.
Cinderace.
Yeah, Cinderace is a great
Huh.
pick.
Great tusks.
I
Shit.
believe I had them middle tier, so right smack dab in the middle, which
Mhm.
is I think they got over or underrated there a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, got a lot of good um, offense and really high metamons.
Yeah. He's got a
Cinderace,
good physical,
Great
good
Tusk,
special.
Quaquaval. Those are all pretty solid.
Yeah, good hazard removers.
Yeah, Great Tusk spins on everything.
Doesn't Quavo too?
Quaquaval gets rapid spin, but it doesn't
Yeah.
run it typically.
Yeah.
Um, only thing I believe I remember looking at was again Earthquake is a little bit of a stress for this guy. He's got
Mhm.
an Amorous T and Oricorio,
And
but
Oricorio. I think an Oricorio is a
um
good pick.
Oricorio is a good pick. I've
Yeah.
used that in the
Yeah, I know.
pretty hard in the preseason tournament. But I mean, it gets
Glaceon's
really good.
underrated too, especially since
Glaceon is underrated.
they gave
I
Ice
think
a smooth little buff.
yeah, I agree. I think Ice is I mean, I even drafted an ice type. If you're using
Yeah,
it
you got
specially
Cryo.
defensive, I think it's not as bad of a defensive typing as some people think, but I mean, it's still not great. It gets freeze dry, I believe Glaceon does, which is always nice to have in a draft. He's got great speed control through his whole team, which is really good.
He
Like
does.
Cinderace is fast, Gengar's
Oh yeah.
fast, Great
Yeah.
Tusk is good, Quaquaval's got Aqua Step,
Armor's just weak
Armarouge has
armor.
got weak armor.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, overall, I think the draft's pretty solid from this one.
Yeah. I think that's
I
where
think
about
it's
like where I put I think like maybe like 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I
I
was
think I
like,
had
it's a solid squad, really good squad.
I
I
had
think it's like what Blake said, like if
ninth or
depending on
10th.
like the coaching and how it's used,
Mhm.
like could get a lot of dubs.
Yeah,
That Enamorous is a sleeper for his team. Actually,
yeah.
can make the
The
fast faster.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you guys
I-
talk through most of this?
yeah, for the most part. If you want to give your opinion on gas, I think we did.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys said.
And you could summarize.
I think, well, I'll just say what I think maybe off the bat, and then we can move on. But I love Cinderace. The Quackleval I also think is really interesting. I myself was looking at Armarouge. Um, Great Tusk and Hisuian Gudra and the Enamorous could be an interesting core.
It's a pretty good core.
Um, Scovillain is cool, but did they have
They
Sunny
don't have
Day
sun, no.
and no
Yeah,
Prankster
No,
for
that
it?
no.
so I mean it's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't like that being his only. Well, I guess never mind. But
I don't really know what
it's fine.
Glaceon does. I think it's just a bad pick, to be honest. Like,
It's not horrible.
No,
Free drive, push support. We talked
you
about
you
this.
look
really
at his
hurt
stats.
somebody.
Hey, I saw who was I think it was Connor. Is Connor the one with the Dayton Dragon Knights?
yeah.
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 He picked up Glaceon and made that thing look like an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he
But
had
to be fair,
Leafeon.
Connor makes a lot of things look like an all-star.
That's true.
But
So,
I
um,
don't think it's a bad pick. It gets good utility and support. I think it's Spadef is decent.
I think isolated, yeah. I think on this team, I don't know if it fits in super well. Like, I would
I
just
didn't.
like,
He
I
doesn't
think,
have a wish pass or anything, does he?
but not every
Oh, his
team needs
defense is
that. You know
decent.
what I'm saying? Like, wish patching is good. It's a good thing. I'm not gonna say that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think what he needs is some more Pokemon that will support the rest of his team.
Yeah.
And like I think that Glaceon is a slot where that could happen, and
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like a bump on a log a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's really
Carlos,
fast. We also
Carlos, how
brought
do you
that
feel
up.
about your team?
Yeah, Carlos.
Is he still here?
He's in here. He's
I
muted
see him
though.
in
I
here,
don't
but
know
I
if
don't know if
he's
he's. Oh,
unmuted
there
and
he
stuff.
is.
I feel pretty good. I've been doing a lot of research. So that's all I'll say.
Oh,
okay, they
Oh,
got
you don't
some
want
they
to
got
give away too much. He's
some
Wait,
cooking
wait.
something.
plans.
fair enough.
How
He's
do you
cooking
feel
something
about
up.
your ranking? Should you have been higher, lower, and why or why not?
I feel like I was a little underrated
I
Where
agree.
compared
did
to
have him
I
at?
think you were
11? Yeah,
higher.
that's not where I put you.
I would say I wasn't expecting like top 3 or anything, but I feel like 8th or ninth. I feel like would have been a better
I think I put you like
ratio
7.
than what I got.
I think that's fair.
Also, we have the battle for Savannah at the very end of the season,
Yeah,
so
I texted Chris
Oh,
about that.
uh,
that's kind
does
of
it
sick.
become the redacted Ghastly Pirates or is it
Oh,
the redacted Vipers,
One
bro?
of us has
dude,
to
one
leave.
of my
It is.
favorite moments in NBA history was when there was the battle for Miami, and
Yeah.
it's Oga versus Miami Heat Ran. And if you notice in the Discord, it says Miami, Ohio Heat Ran now.
Yes, yeah, I did notice
I
that.
thought that
I,
was
Yeah.
so funny. Like
Yeah.
I was dead,
he got
bro.
kicked out, bro.
Yeah.
He got
Bro,
kicked.
I wonder if there's another Savannah somewhere that you could say, but that's
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be
sure
interesting.
there
I
is.
think it was interesting you both were placed around the same level too, so it feels like there's some plot happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So,
yeah, it's built up. It's the script. The script was being written.
mm,
I
But yeah,
stand with
wait,
the writers.
where did it put him at? 11. That yeah, that's pretty
mm.
pretty
Moving
up
on
there.
to
Los Angeles Wild
the
Chargers.
Wild Chargers now, yeah.
The
Ooh.
pop bomb.
I
This team
was
is so interesting.
Yeah.
Very
This
cool.
this reads as like a Blake the Chico kind of like
It
out there
does, yeah.
off the wall roster. I will say like I don't know that I liked this team that much.
I think
But
I've had them right smack dab in the middle because it does have some really, really good pieces like
yeah.
Slitherwing,
Tropius, Slitherwing, yeah.
Ninja, or Saluna.
I shouldn't say I don't like it. I think it's
Cloyster's
a
like
cool
great.
team.
is nice.
And Cloyster.
Cloyster's scary.
Yeah, bro.
I
Like
do think
everybody's
this
view,
Tropius
it's
is
back to
an
where
odd pick. I
everyone's
hate that mom,
serviceable.
but
this is a
Pokemon's
roster
cool.
that like has Pokemon that I love. Like and all of these like have their Pokemon like this is a very colorful roster in a lot of ways because you have things like Mousehold, like Pokemon that have very specific attributes that no other Pokemon have. Like
Mhm.
Ursaluna, I think has the Headlong Rush. It gets guts. That thing should not have guts, but it does.
Jesus.
It hits like a
Yeah.
literally like a truck. And
I
then
will say it is a little. It does make me nervous that he only has a one way to get hazards off. Maybe Tropius gets defog. I'm not sure about that,
mm,
but
Does he?
right now the
I
only
didn't
I'm
way
think
I'm
looking
so.
right
seeing to get
now.
rid of hazards is tidy up on Mousehold.
That Tropius does not get defog.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, maybe Cloyster gets rapid spin,
I think
but Mousehold's tidy up is the only one for sure that I know that gets rid of hazards, and that's a little bit worrying when he's got Salazzle, Slitherwing, Titan, Cloyster, Hisuian Typhlosion. He's got a lot of Tropius, a lot of hazard weak Pokemon.
yeah. So would you say, Blake, that like you like the picks but not the synergy? Is that what you were getting
mm,
onto?
there's a kind of synergy that does kind of come out of like just drafting Pokemon that have like very tacket specific use cases. Like it makes it difficult to plan for a team like that that's going to be able to like do very unique things. You're always going to be trying to
Yeah.
look out for whatever strategy. There's not a lot of like straightforwardness to this roster, I would say. So it's
Yeah.
like that's something that's going for this team. Um, I don't know.
I'd
Like
agree with that.
I think that like Mousehold, has shown to be like a
Seems
very
pretty
good
scary
value
though.
pick. It's like the fact that it's
Yeah.
7 points for
It's
how much you
crazy.
can get out of it. You know,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I think this is going to be a team where you're not going to know the exact six that they'll bring every week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's
it.
not
Like
going to be like, yeah, I mean, it's like,
for sure it does have that variability.
every pick is serviceable. He's got a lot of different like earthquake counters too. So yeah.
there's a couple Pokemon in here that you always have to be aware of, like the Shell Smash, Cloyster,
Yeah, I was gonna say that
and
Cloyster I think
Mousehold.
is my favorite pick. I think the Cloyster, especially last.
Hmm. Like, what are you going to do when my Ursaluna comes out and it has Flame Orb?
I think he also does have a couple Mons on there that he might be trying to abuse the minor league in, where some people might not know exactly how to play into Salazzle, and
Mm.
then Tropius with Harvest Subseed
Oh,
could be
yeah.
really hard for a newer player to
Like
play
stuff that
against
he
him.
knows that people are probably aren't gonna go for on prep.
So that's probably why he went with those two. But because I mean, Protect, Toxic Stall Salazzle, and Subseed Tropius with Harvest Citrus Berry are really hard to play against if you don't have anything that's like prepped into it
Hmm.
well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's I think some of the same thought there is all these Pokemon, you have to know what they do. And
Hmm.
if you don't, you can be really hurt by that. So this
Yeah.
is like a team that like if you're experienced, you might be able to have more advantage. But if
But you can
you,
get swept. You can get 6-0'd if you actually just don't know what any of them do.
yeah, like if you don't know that like Mousehold's gonna Brent.
Tidy up
So okay,
completely.
I'll say this. I know that Brent was getting really into substrats at the end of the last season that he played. If you don't know that Mousehold's gonna come through and burn through your sub, like that strategy's just out of the window now, and then you've lost. So it's like it's a team that you have to come in with like
You would just lose
foreknowledge.
to one Pokemon if he leads off with Household. Yeah, like you can.
So
He actually might too.
yeah. So I think this is a really interesting roster, and it's also side note like these are just very unique Pokemon to pick, and I feel like this is like kind of their favorites coming through a little bit. But yeah,
dude. I didn't realize how annoying Tropius is.
So let's move on to the new 100 Thieves, Andy's old
Oh,
team.
the new and better.
So they're looking pretty good.
I
This
agree.
roster's pretty sick.
I agree.
Yeah, honestly, I like the I dig the clef key.
Yeah, the fact that that went last for them,
Yeah,
insane.
clef key's a great pick.
Round 9 pick. I wanted Klefki.
Yeah, he's got good steel types. Yeah, but yeah, good poison.
Yeah. Andy, do you have any notes on this? I feel like you were talking with Nate a little bit about
Yeah,
strategy.
he was the one coaching them
This
up.
is like a fresh rookie.
Sorry, I just got back. What's happening?
We're talking about
Coaching
100 people.
Nate Bryan. Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
is that a Rumsberg kid?
Yep.
that is a Roundsburg St. Pius kid to be
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to say.
there, Oga. Yeah, his draft I helped him plan out for the most of it. Mostly just a core, and then I kind of forced him to pick what he wanted. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid core wise, I think. But he has some interesting picks that are a little odd, like Oricorio Fire. I probably wouldn't have picked that, but um, got some good physical threats, decent core, and Slowking Iron Treads. I think Salamence is good variation. Thunderous is good variation.
The
Paldean
Paldean
Taurus
Tauros.
Aqua
Dude.
is
Yeah.
actually probably one of the ones. Those Tauros both interested me a lot. I just was never able to pull the trigger on mine.
He's gonna run the wave crash.
Yeah, and then Klefki can do some interesting things, especially.
Yeah. Klefki's a Pokemon that you have to know how to work it, but it
Yeah, I
can
like
be
Best
really good.
Klefki the
thing
most.
is Salazzle and Tropius,
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
Toxtricity is really cool too.
Yeah,
Sounds I
always love
forget
that
I
one.
always forget that sound moves like have different properties than
Yeah,
other moves.
bypass sub and stuff like that.
So yeah, I agree
I
about
think,
the Oricorio pick. I think that was a little bit out there.
yeah,
I don't know.
because
It's
I
like
think we originally planned for him to get Moltres,
mm,
and it got taken, and then he was gonna do Talonflame, and then Talonflame got taken, so he just wanted a fire flying type, I think, and that's just
Oh,
what it
that's what
ended
he.
up. I probably would have made him
Oh
go a
no, he
different
yelled at
route,
me.
but
He yelled at me because he was like, "Dude, you picked Talon," and so I think he just kept going with.
yeah.
He was set on the
But
fire flying.
I think overall the team's okay. 9 Mons kind of hurts it a little bit. I don't think it's anything insane. That's kind of where I had him. I
But
had
like
him at,
he's set on like typing wise and like
yeah, he's got a good
he's got
variation.
good flying types,
Mm-hmm.
super solid
steals.
threats.
Yeah. Yeah, like still strong.
Yeah.
Like he's good, covered his bases. But yeah, like low variation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always have to plan around Klefki. You always have
Mm-hmm.
to plan for Urshifu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think this is a solid team. I think
Yeah. Like
this
his
might have
Iron
been a
Treads pick.
case where it was also a little bit of like voting on the coach a little bit, and knowing that Nate is a newer coach might have been
Yeah.
something that affected their placement a little bit, but their team is solid. I think from here on up, especially too, it's like there's not as many discernible weaknesses or
I agree. Yeah. I think from here on up, I actually 100% agree. I don't think there's anything really. All the rest of the teams are pretty, yeah, like you said, no discernible weaknesses, really.
there's things we can talk about, but it's like
But
things are
it's like, yeah, it's going to
serviceable.
be nitpicky. Yeah, for sure.
But
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
I've been
it'll
nitpicky the
matter
whole
quite
time,
less. It'll
but
matter quite less
yeah,
in the season.
yeah.
mhm.
So we'll see. Um,
Move on to the Turtwigians. Yeah.
Oh
Is
Sceptiles.
that
yeah.
Ooh,
next?
I
Oh,
don't.
they're not next. Septiles
Yeah,
This
is next.
logo is so nice. Elliot did a good
that is a
job.
nice. Yeah, that is a nice
Yeah,
logo.
it's very
Where is
nice.
he at? Where are we at on the? Is this 8,
8.
9?
Yeah. So
Bro,
this is the
we
rain
get to
team.
talk rain.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
They
this
both
team
got
is
Barraskewda.
nasty.
god. Yep.
they both
You didn't
look,
put Caparaja twice.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I should be saying this, but both of them messed up picking Barraskewda over Floatzel.
Yeah.
Floatzel is the best rain sweeper in the gen right now. It's unreal how much that thing does damage wise.
Maybe they
Yeah.
just saw the most recent replays and like saw Blake using them recently.
Maybe, yeah. But like I just think Floatzel, especially with how little points it is, I think it's like 3 points or something crazy. I
You
mean,
just
that
gave
thing
him a
just goes
strat,
ham.
man.
I know, but
I
like
think
literally, it was my strat where I was gonna wait until the schedules got made, and then if I played the Shinx, I was gonna pick up Floatzel because I was not gonna deal with it. It gave me
mm,
something, but obviously I don't play the Shinx, so it's sitting there. So,
Oh, he's got
but
Rillaboom too.
mm.
in terms of a rain team, it's a really good team. This team's really built very well.
Regieleki and Pelipper, that is very high
Very
synergy.
Yeah.
Along with the Barraskewda. Um, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll let you guys talk a little bit. I don't know some of these picks like Cyclozar and Caparaja. I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't know. I think some of the picks that I could be nitpicky about are like Hisuian Arcanine. Why are you gonna put a quad weak mon in the
Yeah.
rain to water? It just, I mean, I guess it's gonna die to water anyway, so I guess it probably doesn't matter. But
What you
that's
mean then and
one
then pick him
nitpicky
third?
thing. In terms of Cyclozar, you mentioned Cyclozar is decent utility wise. It gets rapid spin, it's fast, taunt, Draco, regenerator. It can just
Oh,
drops
Regenerator.
Dracos, dodges, and then comes back. You know what I mean? It's just
Mm.
annoying. Obviously, it doesn't get Shed Tail, but I don't know. Caparajah gets rocks. He has Lando T. I think Caparajah is more just him getting a steel type at this
Yeah, I was
point,
gonna say I think that was for the typing.
just so he can have it. But I mean, his type coverages are so good. I think the only thing type wise he doesn't have that's actually sort of an issue is a poison type. I don't see a poison type from what I'm looking at. I could
Yeah, I
be
think
wrong.
that's why I probably grabbed Copper just so to not deal with it.
Because having a grounded poison is super important to pick up
He has a ton of
the
levitate
toxic
Pokemon though,
spikes.
so it's like he could bring a team that
One,
doesn't even worry
he's
about
got
it.
hat that could bounce him back. Two,
Yeah, like he just have to use it, but he
three,
just won't be
yeah,
affected by it.
yeah. It could be pretty annoying though.
You like this
But
Appleton pick? I like that. That is a good. That is
Yeah,
a
Appleton's
good one.
always a really good
That
pick.
is a
Blake
good
that
said
is
one.
he's
a
Appleton's
huge
fan.
value pick. Well,
You love him.
I had a great experience in season 2 because I drafted it to counter Dracovish, and it was like perfect because it quad
Mm,
resists the Vicious Rend, and then it could return fire with the Draco. It gets Leech Seed. It will block
yeah,
Spore. It gets Thick Fat, so it's ice. 4 times. It's effectively 2 times weak to ice instead of 4 times, and then
yeah.
blocks fire
That's
type
good.
attacks. Um,
Oh, he gets body
yeah,
press too.
Yeah,
yeah. It has pretty good
it's a good
special
pick.
defense, so
Iron
it's just
defense.
thick in that way.
Gets recover. It gets
Yeah,
a bunch of good
Avalast.
stuff.
That's the move I couldn't remember.
The thing is with
Avalast.
Terra, I think it's even better. Like you can make it Terra Fairy or something stupid,
You can, yeah.
and it still gets the Leech Seed, and yeah, it's annoying to deal with. It
Yeah,
is,
I think his team is really good. Like it's very well built rain team.
yeah. This team is good. Um, Rillaboom, I think, is also one of those Pokemon that it can really synergize. It's also just kind of a good pick on its own to
Hmm.
add to any team because it
It
will
He's
bit.
got the grassy surge too, doesn't he?
he
Mhm.
has grassy surge, but it does not get grassy glide, which is a
That's
big
Oh,
reason
crazy.
why people don't want to pick
See,
Rillaboom.
that is something that would, if I
What?
didn't know that when I drafted, I would scream.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially like with
it
where
does
you
not
pick
get
him.
grassy glide. So that's the big issue. Maybe when home gets released, it'll get grassy glide again, but
That's
as
kind
of
of
right now, it doesn't get it,
that
which is the
Oh
feels
my
big
bad,
god.
reason
man.
Rillaboom was super good.
Yeah,
So
I
that's a
I
rip.
hope that they know that. That
yeah,
sucks.
I
it's
don't think
still
so. If they
it's
picked him
still
fourth,
a good, uh, like banded mon, scarf mon,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
the priority like it did the OP priority. But I mean, it's still a good pick. I mean,
He
it's
still
got a
can
really
U-turn stuff, right?
decent speed, I think, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Isn't it around the 90s?
85.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
decent. That's a good scarfer. That's a good band.
Yeah.
Choice band speed right there.
Rillaboom is
So
just it's augmenting all of this defensive core that they have going on. I
Very
really
much
think
so.
the Caparajah, Cyclozar, Hatterene is actually pretty cool.
he
It's a
is,
pretty
yeah.
good core.
Dude, Hat was one of the mons that I was targeting for the draft at different points, but obviously I didn't
Yeah,
get it.
Hat's nasty. It's the
Hat's
same
pretty
thing
good.
though from here on up. Yeah, all the teams or pretty much everybody except for maybe a few have like you got to prep for everybody, every
Mm-hmm.
combo.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
move
I
on
think
to
this
good.
Sceptile has a very good variety that is really, really, really good for draft.
Mm.
I think it's just a good rain team, like I said.
Oh, we don't have the new logo in here yet. I'll do that. But the Turtwigs, man, I like the Turtwigs. I think
Their team's
Yeah,
I like this team. I think the coach is somebody I could see. They're a true rookie, so I mean they don't have a ton of experience, but
yeah.
I think Gibby's a grinder, and
Gibby, yeah, he's
he is a gamer.
competitive.
He's a
He
gamer.
is competitive.
The TRs are just drafting well. I'm not gonna lie to you.
mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's competitive, and
This draft is really strong.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
you
think
played
of what
Overwatch with him, Blake, too. You know he's gonna like
I'm trying to
dedicate
think of what
Yep.
my
stuff to looking up
hindrances
strategies.
were. I think Earthquake was another
Like no,
one
yeah,
for
no,
me. He's got
Okay.
one immunity, but
he's
other
got a
than that,
levitate. Yeah,
just
I re-
one though.
I
I
really
know.
like this team. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
agree.
I
I
dig
agree.
the Rotom Wash so much. I like
Yeah,
all the
Rotom Wash.
Well, it's
Rotom
just like
Wash Ting Lu is going to be a nightmare.
yeah.
Annihilate is very good.
Magnezone is underrated.
Bro, I've tried
Especially
to get Magnezone for the last like 3 drafts and I never can get him.
same. I was so mad when it got sniped. I think it was like the pick before me, but like it comes with magnet pull,
Yeah,
so
he got the
you
pull.
Mhm.
So
you
it stops
essentially
him
take away
from
a
left.
whole Terra if you do it right.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
some people scarf it, some people run it with sturdy, and you can volt switch into whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Magnezone is crazy.
And
It's
Arcanine's
got
Mr. Reliable. I mean,
I
it's
think
literally so versatile.
the only
Yeah, always
other
still used.
thing is his speed tiers are not great.
Who's his fastest? Weavile?
Weavile. And that genuinely might be the only one over base 100.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I think Arcanine might be 90 something.
I mean, at least Arcanine gets extreme speed.
Yeah. Arcanine's still very good.
Arcanine's
Don't get me
good,
wrong,
yeah.
But I guess in hindsight, if he really wanted to, he could just run a Trick Room set too, since he has the Farigiraf. I don't even remember how you say that mon's
Mhm.
name.
yeah,
For
for
And
Rigor. Yeah.
and that's an
that
underrated
one.
mon too, because it has two
Mhm.
out of three great abilities. So
Yeah, Farigiraf is a wild card. I think that's an interesting pick. I'm not super familiar with what it does. I know it does wish pass utility stuff typically, but
one of its abilities makes it so you can't use priority moves.
Yep.
Mhm.
I forget. I think that one's Armor Tail. I don't
Yep.
remember
Yeah.
what Pudchewed is, and then I
Pikachu
forget the
lets
other
you
one.
eat berry. So basically, you eat a berry, and then
The
the
next
next
turn it
after
eats it
the
again.
end of the next turn, you eat it again.
Oh, this
Yeah.
mon is great.
That's like
Yeah.
speed
So
boost if you use it the right time.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Well, you
I,
said on who?
I think it's like speed boost
Oh,
if you use it the right time.
okay.
Oh, it has Sap Sipper too.
Yeah. Sapsipper is nice.
Damn, he's got Hippo, the Hippo, dude. Wow.
Hippowdon, Rotom
Yeah.
Wash, Tinglu is just disgusting.
He's gonna be gross
I
and
got my
annoying.
I got my eye on this team as they go through the
Yeah.
season.
Farigiraf gets Trick Room. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think this team is good. I think it's also it. Uh, this is a great or not. I don't know if it's a great, but it's a good anti-weather team because you have something that will work
Mhm.
for whatever your opponent brings, or you can use Hippowdon and like claim the weather back. But he doesn't have
That's
anything
what I
that's
did.
necessarily like works super well with Hippowdon, I guess. But like the Dreadnought, Swift Swim, you have Arcanine in the sun can be really threatening.
Yeah.
Rotom Wash in the rain, and Dragalge might even get Swift Swim.
Mm, You're you're never running it Swift Swim on Dragalge.
I know
Over
that people
adaptability.
love to bring Draco Meteor Dragalge with specs just because it will blow up whatever switches
It
It
has
into
does
it.
it
not
has
get Swift Swim.
adaptability. It has poison
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
was
point,
gonna
gets
say
poison
they're gonna
point
adaptability.
take
adaptability.
stab.
It would just be, even if it did have Swift Swim, I think it's base like 44 speed or something. Yeah,
Mm.
It
so it's
is.
Does it get
really
flip?
bad.
It doesn't get flip turn anymore, right?
I do not know. It does. It did at one point. I don't know if it gets it now, but it
I don't
did
see
at
it.
one
I
point.
don't see it
No,
on
I
the
don't
list.
see it. Yeah, I don't see it in the Gen 9 list.
Mm.
That's a
But I mean,
solid
it's
mon.
a really, really good balanced draft. I think, like if you're running a balanced team for the most
Yeah, he's
part,
got a great team.
his draft is really nice. I think the biggest nitpick, like I said,
Earthquake. Yeah,
weakness, and then his speed tiers aren't great.
yeah.
They're
Like after
bulky.
Weavile, Arcanine, and then I don't think Annihilate's fast, is it?
I don't think it is. It's
No.
just they try to bulk it up a little bit usually.
I personally love the Annihilate
it's-
and Dragalge pick.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Annihilate's an unreal
I
pick.
pretty much
It's
love like
super,
all of
super
his
good.
picks.
Yeah,
I think
Annihilate's
that's why
base
he
90,
just.
so it's not
Yeah,
horrible speed,
yeah.
but
The speed tiers could leave him a little lackluster. Where like Weavile's good, but I think that was a bit of a reach for some speed.
yeah.
I think that's why someone brought up too. Like the Frigoraph is just so good, such a good pick too with the
Trigger
trick
might
room.
actually be fast too,
With the
because Girafarig was stupidly fast for no reason.
Yeah, this is a
he
cool
can do a
team.
lot. Yeah, he can do a lot with like any combo.
No, Frigoraph is slow. Why is Frigoraph slower than Girafarig? Isn't Girafarig like base 90
Because
or
he's
85?
bigger, bro. He's got to move a
Makes
bigger body, dude.
I think a lot of those Pokemon that get evolutions later end up having like slower speed or something. Like Ursaluna is like that, I think.
Yeah, you
All
get
right.
faster when you evolve.
Moving on to the queen.
Looks like it. LP.
Oh,
Oh,
the skeleton.
She doesn't have a logo,
Palafin.
so
Great Wall of Crest. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, bro. Dude, her team is unreal.
Wait, did
Yeah,
she
Her
play in
team
one of the
is
earlier seasons?
so good.
Ezor.
I think it's criminal that she got put this low.
Was she the fairy monotype team?
Wait, yeah, where
Yep.
are we at right
She
now? Is this
was,
6?
yeah.
Is this 6?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, this
But
is 6.
Okay.
what a team!
Skeledirge, Palafin,
Skeledirge
Gardevoir,
is gross,
Scizor,
bro.
Thunderous T, Cress, Umbreon, Hariyama, Hydreigon, Articuno. That is disgusting.
So
Yeah.
Those are
this is my
so
first time seeing everybody's like draft. So like as I'm seeing the rosters the first time, I'm gonna wait for the rest of the rosters, but I wouldn't be surprised if this takes it the whole way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean
That
this
might
dude,
be a hot
this
take,
roster
but,
is unreal.
but this team, you can never guess what six that she's coming with.
No, not at all. Not at all.
If you get 4 out of 6, you did well.
Yeah, I think, and then she's got Palafin and Scizor, which are huge physical threats. Crest, Thunderous T, Gardevoir, huge special threats. Skeledirge, Crest,
Yeah,
Umbreon,
Skeledirge is gross.
all super good tanky wise. Scissor's even good bulky. Like she's got a lot of mons that can do a lot of different things.
This is a team that looks like it was drafted by Log or Connor.
I
Like
agree. It's super, super good.
Hariyama is so sick. I really
Yeah,
like looked at it a
I
few
agree.
times while we were drafting as well because it gets does it still get did it get defog? I don't think it actually got defog.
No,
I
it
think
doesn't
that's
get default.
Conkeldurr.
Mhm.
Yes, you're thinking of Conkeldurr.
But it's still like it hits super hard. It's bulky. It like it was super threatening, and Dayton had a big showing of it in season 3, I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Hariyama ruined my life
yeah,
in
Mhm.
season 3.
think it's Whirlwind, which is like weird.
Oh yeah. Even
Uh,
I mean, he's got big hands.
bro, he
yeah,
uses foam fingers for hands,
yeah,
dude.
he just the
Are
one
you
swap,
kidding me?
bro.
But man, like, yeah, this team is just
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's
with the
one that I look
Umbreon
at and I'm
pick
like, I don't
too.
want to play it. Like
What
the
I
speed tiers are all really good.
So many good options.
Yeah, I mean, Really
What I
good.
think is hilarious is, to me, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like the Skeldritch pick round 1 was a reach because she's like, I really like this Pokemon. It was my starter Pokemon in Scarlet or Violet, and so I need this on my team.
Favoritism in it.
It's good though. The thing is it's
Absolutely.
such
It
a
is
He is
threat
really
good.
still.
good.
He is good. Yeah.
The
Doesn't he have
unaware
unaware?
towards
Yeah,
calm.
It is
unaware
it is good, you're right. But I'm like, if Palafin
for
is still
one.
there for me,
Yeah.
I'm not risking
If
that
you're
getting sniped.
if you're gonna pick Palafin and
Yeah, she
Skeletor
got
as your first two, you just
like
swap
around.
that around.
It ended up working out because she got Palafin in the second round, but I would not have personally risked that.
The only
Yeah.
thing I can see is she doesn't have the typical like fire, water, grass. Like she's got no grass type. But I mean, if that's the only thing I can think of that's an issue. Like
I feel like Caesar covers probably some of the defensive options for grass type anyways.
Caesar's just elite.
The
Caesar
only
is
thing
cracked.
that I would probably say about this is she's lacking maybe some hazards. She's got good hazard control with Scizor. Scizor still gets defog, right?
Yep.
Caesar
yeah,
gets it.
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
that's true. She has no rock setters. I think I don't.
mean,
I didn't think
she doesn't
Hariyama was
need
the
it.
only one who would get it. But
She,
yeah,
she doesn't need it.
Yeah.
I agree.
She is
I
like the
mean,
utilities.
Go ahead. If you take a turn and try to set on her, and she's already like knows what she's gonna do, she's gonna send you. She's gonna 6L you.
yeah, the team's really, really, really strong. I think this was my number one team. I believe.
Yeah, and Gardevoir is just amazing. Is it gonna
Mhm.
synchronize? Is it gonna trace? You
Mhm.
don't know.
Oh man, that's
Probably one of the
crazy.
best scarfers.
Oh yeah,
'cause-
Crest can use toxic too. Is that true? That's wild.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep, this is a team that's gonna be tough to deal with.
it's gonna be really hard to beat.
Queen
Um,
showing her
And
fangs
she has
early. We love
experience.
it.
And she has experience.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she had a great showing in monotype. So I
Mhm.
think that this is a great team to pilot if you've already shown like you can pilot a team. So
Mhm.
good synergy going on between the coach and the roster here. Um, moving on to Portland.
Indeed.
This was one that I
Oh yeah.
was a little surprised to see this high, but I think it's still
Really?
super formidable. Like the thing is like I'm not super sold on like the bulky teams, and I think that I've even like heard it said a bunch of times with Gen 9 that like offense is like hyper
king.
offense is king in Gen 9, but
It's
Yeah.
good. I don't. People. It's balanced out now to
mhm.
where people do run a little bit of everything. But
That said,
I
this is a
mean,
team where it's like the bulky Pokemon that
it's
are on this are all
Yeah, I was
offensive
gonna say,
too.
you mean like Z
yeah,
Crown,
that's what I'm saying. Like Z
Like
Crown,
Brute Bonnet.
Urshifu, and Hisui,
Urshifu,
and
dude.
Zoroark are nuts. Screamtail
And you
is
guys, yeah.
arguably, in my opinion, it might be the best support
Screamtail's,
Pokemon.
yeah.
It's super good.
And Screamtail
Um,
fast as hell too.
it's fast as hell. It's like 115 or something like that.
Yeah.
Speed, really good HP, really good SPDF. You don't have to run any investment and then outspeed some people that are like max,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
max jolly, and it's just it drops wishes. It can encore. It can do
The
a whole bunch
Wish
of stuff.
Protect, yeah, Encore.
It's got poison type. I mean, this draft
And it
is
covers your fairy typing.
really good. His core is pretty good. Don fan.
The Reggie Drago.
Dude, Reggie
Vaughn,
Drago. That's
Weird
crazy.
team.
The
Weird
Reggie
Ear is
Drago.
actually a really interesting pick too to me because I think that I looked into that mon and it looked pretty good. It looked like a better Fergarath.
I agree. I would say the one thing that I think this is exactly where I had them ranked in my list. The one thing that they might be lacking a little bit, not that they don't have this, but it's maybe a special attacker or some special attacking pressure.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
and also, I personally don't know how to play Zoroark. Like, it just doesn't compute in my smooth brain.
Yeah.
So,
The Hisuian Zoroark is way easier to play than regular Zoroark because it has two immunities.
mm-hmm.
So
Oh
like
yeah.
you can just switch it in on whatever. Like you don't even have to pretend. Like you don't even have to play with the illusion. You can just make the other person psych themselves out. You like it doesn't matter what you pair it with. Like obviously you can do things to make it seem really good, but it's not a very high skill floor. Like you can,
like its presence does the
yeah,
job.
just having the illusion in general will mind blow some people. It still mind blows me
Me.
randomly. I'm like, what? I'm like, how did that happen? I remember watching one where Blake, it was one of the gym badges. I was watching Blake and I was like, wait a minute, how the heck did that happen? And then Blake said, think about it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Such a
okay.
Blake response.
bro, because I think it was literally a Tornadus that switched in and got toxic spiked, and Andy's
Yeah.
like, "Wait, that
Yeah, I
doesn't
was like,
work."
Oh,
I was like, how the hell
And
did
I
that
was like,
that
happen?
was it.
yeah,
Fucking silly. And I was like, oh, god dang
Think
it.
about it.
yeah. But I think that Urshifu is a great partner for Zoroark because what some of there's a bunch of different schools of thought I think for Zoroark, and one of them is like, do I make it look like something that is gonna bait a move that it's immune to, or do I make it look like an offensive threat and then hit with something else that they're not expecting? So it would be something where it's like Urshifu Rapid Strike wants to be countered by like things with Rocky Helmet or like big offensive, defenses or like physical defenses. And so Zoroark is a special attacker, I think, for the most part. I think it can be
Yeah.
either, but in that instance, you're forcing in something that wants like a physical, wants to be a physical wall, and then you'll hit it with a special attack. So it's a Pokemon that's really good for whittling down things, and I think it's strong enough that it can two-hit KO things. So it's like, um, most of the
And
time at
fast
least.
enough.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
So
fast.
so it's like you make it look like it's something that's slow, and so there's a bunch of different things you can do with it.
Yeah.
I
I
like
think
the making it look like prankster Pokemon because you know that a prankster is gonna hit first, and so it like,
yeah,
yeah.
it mind blows you. You're like, why is this? Why is this Pokemon?
So I think that the dark type Zoroark can be effective at doing that better, but I don't think that that's what Sam drafted this for necessarily.
Yeah.
I
But
think Sam drafted it because he likes it, but
right, right.
because I think
Design.
he picked it first in the last
Yeah, he
in
did
the
invitational.
invitational.
I
Yeah.
think Zamazenta is a great partner too in this case because like most
Mhm.
of the time what'll happen is Zamazenta comes out and then you're like, oh no, I don't want it to Iron Defense and get ahead and body press me. So like it's I think this is that Sam drafted some Pokemon that are gonna make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
But
I think the one thing that I would like to see improvement on this team is maybe like a fire type something or something to help
Yeah.
what fend off will-o-wisps or flame
Yeah,
bodies.
just Terra. Ignore the haters. Just Terra.
Just
hey,
Terra.
facts. Oga, that
That's
was
the,
that was a bar.
that was the answer. Yeah.
That was still just a bar. I
Again,
think
this team has a hard time with Earthquake, and I don't know about its core necessarily. Like, what exactly is it? Are you running Zamazenta Donphan?
Yeah.
Are you
I don't
running
know if it has that tough of a time with Earthquake.
Dreamtail Donphan?
Because he has Braviary, he has got Brute Bonnet, and
And that's it.
well, I think like Donphan and Urshifu
Yeah,
are
Donphan
probably
can
gonna,
take
Like things that can. He still has things that can eat at Earthquake.
Yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, it's still not often. Like Donphan's gonna take, depending on who it's from. Obviously, it's
Like a
gonna
2-hit.
be
He'll still get 2-hit.
probably 3 for the most part. But yeah, I mean, and it doesn't have reliable recovery. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it can take
He's
one,
not
but
getting one shot like some other teams that really are
that's very
struggling.
true.
So
Very
or
true.
like even two shot in some cases, but I see what you're saying. I think that it's kind of tough to get to a point where it's like I can guarantee that my whole roster is gonna be like able to take two hits from the strongest move that this person has to bring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I get that. I'm just saying, like, Earthquake is the most spammable move in the game, and it's very widespread, and it's just like if you don't have options for it, it will run through you a lot
It'll
quicker
be a
than
move
most.
that you're gonna see a lot in a lot of your week
Yeah.
to week
Trust me,
matchups.
as someone who did freaking monotype poison, I know Earthquake's annoying as hell.
He's
I'll
just
tell you
scarred.
that.
He's just scarred from
I was gonna
that.
say, so you just are speaking from PTSD.
Bro,
Yeah.
man,
No,
when
Not
I
It's
every single
okay.
person on your
You're
team gets run through by Earthquake,
I
you
Andy,
know
literally,
bro. You don't have to pick poison types anymore. It's okay. You
hey,
don't
no,
have to.
I'm with you because when I made my rain team, I don't remember who I played week 1. They went, picked up a low and nine tails, and
Oh.
freeze drives me to hell. And then
I
2
remember
minutes after the
that.
battle, oh yeah, we're dropping nine tails.
Dude, I was that might have been like Aaron or something. That
Bro,
might,
if you can ask Brian, I
No,
texted him
no,
right
no.
away. I said, I'm going to snap my laptop in half.
oh my gosh.
We're
It was
dropping
it was none other than Caton.
Oh
it was
my
Caden. I
That
But
love
it's
makes
gosh.
like
it.
so much sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
the drop
hilarious.
right after too. That's hella disrespectful. We don't need
That's
this
so
boost
funny.
anymore.
It was so
And what we don't need anymore is
It's
this
just
boost.
like I'm literally gonna win.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do. There's no personal business here. Um, last thing I'll say before we move on is I think that Sam has drafted Spiritomb every single season so far.
His team's so he always drafts such cool mons. I agree.
What an
I think
incredible tidbit there from Blake. I love that.
Yeah. Okay, top four. So next team. This is
Great top four.
this is an
Wait, hold on.
interesting.
Oh, the snow.
Who's here? Is somebody here? Is
Yeah, I
this
don't know who
Log?
said that.
no,
Me?
it's Hunter.
Yeah, it's me. Is my team good or bad? Was the verdict?
Oh, we're not on
We haven't
majors
we
yet.
No,
haven't
we're
been
just
there
getting
yet.
minors.
I heard Brian say it was terrible, but I don't want to be a snitch.
Hey, that's cap. You know I wouldn't do
Not
you in
bad.
my guy.
Yeah,
This
Hunter. I don't
this
know.
team is disgusting, and I think I had this as my second ranked team.
This was my third. This
Who
team
we
is
looking at?
very,
The
very,
This
Obama
team
very
is
snow.
strong.
filthy.
Oh, I think I had him at like
Yeah.
2, 1 or 2.
Yeah. This team is really
Is this
strong.
a TR?
What's that?
Um,
Is this a true rookie? Who is this?
Oh, so this is
Isn't this
Not-
dude already in here?
I think his name is Caleb. I think he's one of the original like Dayton League
BBR
players,
members.
but he hasn't played in a while.
That's like
And
riding a bike.
yeah.
so I think that
This
like
thing.
this is I feel like Dayton to us is like the SEC or something or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I can see
Like
that,
I'm
yeah.
weak.
like
It's the
so I feel like we're
SEC.
always just like they're gonna be good. So I have no idea what to expect from the coaching necessarily, but I know that they've got experience playing against some of the top coaches in our
You're saying the
league.
cloth that they're cut from is just built different.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just built different.
So
And the team is also built different too.
right.
Yeah, he's nasty, dude.
This is I mean, you know, like
Bundle hands, Dragonite,
it
Tyranitar.
always feels like a steal when somebody just drafts all of the synergy that they need for the Pokemon. Like the fact that both rain teams got Barraskewda and Pelipper, and like
Mhm.
this team gets Pinkerton and all of the Pokemon that benefit off of that. Like
Yeah, they got two future forms, Pinkerton, and then a core that I actually almost drafted in Tyranitar and Dragonite. Like I was really close. I went Zapdos instead, but
yeah,
I mean it's a really good defensive core. Has
Mimikyu,
Pinkerton
what?
to abuse the future mons. Mimikyu is really good draft wise because you can do red card bullshit and like if they bring something that's insane, you have a red card on your Mimikyu and then they switch it and then now you're prepared for it. You know what I mean? And you get a free. It's like a free roar.
Yeah.
And then he's got Quagsire, Decidueye for water grass coverage.
Hey, bro, we
Ceruledge for
got
fire.
Ceruledge in the 9th.
Espeon for magic bounce. You know what I mean?
Dayton.
Decidueye gets defog.
This team has all
really
of the
good.
Dayton classics on it. You've got Espeon, you've got Quagsire, you've got Dragonite, bro. Those
Yeah.
are all like when I think of when I think of
Their
Blake or
core.
Connor, yeah, like I have memories of each of
That's a
these
Connor
Pokemon.
core for sure.
Dude, so
Yeah.
that Dayton gym badge is worth a little more, is what?
Yeah.
That's what you. That's what I'm
Yeah, it
saying.
is. But like, so I don't. Yeah, I think this team's crazy. I love that he's covering his electric base by having Pinkerton and then Quagsire just for the defensive electric option.
Yeah, he got
Um,
away with murder with this draft. This draft is really good.
Ceruledge, crazy man. That Pokemon's sweet. But yeah, do we think is there sand opportunities here? I don't really know. I don't think so.
Not really. You don't bring, to be honest, you don't really draft Tyranitar for the sand necessarily. I mean, it's nice
Or it's like
for
a
for
secondary.
death rays, but it's like it's like drafting Hippowdon. You know what I mean? Like you draft Hippowdon because it's good, not because of the sand.
This might be like
There's no real good sand
It's a
rush.
good anti-weather though.
anti
Too.
photosynthesis is what I was
It's good for
thinking.
anti-weather. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the anti past paradox forms because
Yeah.
you're covering the sun with the sand potentially. You've got the Pinkerton, Iron Bundle, Iron Hands. Those are the one of the best special attackers from the paradox forms and one of the best physical attackers.
Yeah. Like he'll counter your weather
for
and then
sure.
still hit you super
Yeah,
hard.
this was like I hate Scarlet. This was I bought Pokemon Violet
This literally is.
version.
This is the Team Violet.
Yeah.
Because isn't Saraledge from Violet too?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, super good. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't really see much.
Oh, it's a great team.
Yeah.
Earthquake again is the only thing, but
Where's
Dragonite.
Earthquake?
Hands gets hit, Tyranitar,
He,
Pinkerton,
he said,
Saraledge.
"Bitch, where?"
But hands is thick.
Hands
Hands
is
is
very thick.
He is thick.
I think Saraledge with the Earthquake is annoying, and then Pinchurn is also a problem. Technically Iron Bundle, but Iron Bundle's just fragile. But I really can't see a straightaway
Dragonite.
weakness.
I'm seeing
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I'm being
Yeah.
picky.
He just needs like a
with that.
slight thing, yeah.
That's
He won't
like
get
the only
wiped. He
thing
won't get
that I can
wiped
think
by
of.
it.
I'm seeing in the
Yeah.
wake of Colorado's wins is a bunch of people complaining about paralyzed hacks from this, bro. Because I mean, you have all the para opportunities here. So
Agreed.
let's move on. Try to finish up minors maybe here a little bit. We've got next the previous commissioner.
The minor league commissioner.
Yeah,
Should not,
the
should
minor
not
league.
be a minor.
Yeah.
Should not be a minor.
Mr. should not be a minor.
This was
Yeah, this thing was crazy.
That's unreal,
a coach
yeah.
that chose to be in the minors, like
I put him
deliberately
at
wanted
one.
to. So
He
I
should
also
not
have
be
him
a
in my top
minors,
10.
and this team shows that.
I had him at
This team is
one because
nasty.
every single pick was crazy. Bro.
Yeah, it's
Every
real
pick.
good.
they gave him Toxapex, Goldango, Toadscroll even,
Opera, Chiru,
He getting Chi-Yu 12th,
yeah.
bro.
Altaria.
Hey, does anybody remember?
Yeah, you talking about the Fire Spin Parasong? That shit
Yes.
sounds so...
Yeah, he has no shame.
yeah.
It was literally named that.
I think
That
right
was
before he cleared the
unreal.
last one, he said, "I'm so sorry."
I think that was the
sorry.
Pokemon's name, like the nickname. That was so funny.
It was literally, the nickname was Parasong Fire Spinner.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, is that what he brought? Please.
Is
I think
that what he
I think
brought?
Dragonite was Dayton was or yeah, Connor was in the chat and he was like, please be true. It just was. So I think that's funny.
Yeah, what a squad.
He's got a good squad.
This
We'll
was
see
the
you
team
at-
I
we'll see you at
drafted.
Majors after this.
Oh yeah. If
Dude,
he
I watched
chooses.
him.
Oh,
Toxic
this
packs.
fell below the third or the second spot for team rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
I definitely put him at one.
The only thing I
Insane.
can see is no fairy type.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
and Earthquake.
Yeah.
Dang, Andy, see, you didn't get to say that this time.
Um,
You didn't get to say
I
it,
didn't
Andy.
say it this time
You
on
didn't
purpose
get to
because he's
say-
got Kilowattrel, Toadscruel, Altaria, and Brambleghast.
Yeah, and Bramble.
So he's got 4 different things that can kind of handle Earthquake.
So I'm seeing they're trying to do the Tailwind strats here
Yeah, with the
Yep.
Brambleghast.
and the
The
Kilowattrel.
Wind Rider. Yeah, it could be.
You do that, you got Goldango and Chi-Yu that can take advantage of that. Toadscruel. Bro, Sneasler's in here?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, that's
gosh.
what I'm saying.
Haxorus.
Like,
You
his
got
team's really
Sneasler,
good.
dude.
He should not be at minors.
Yeah,
nasty.
that's crazy,
You
dude.
got Sneasler in the 7th round?
Yeah. I mean, you got Pex in the 5th, right? Is that what that is, or 6th?
Yeah, I think that's what I got Pex in the 4th. But yeah.
I was gonna grab Pex instead of Claw because I thought Claw wasn't gonna be there.
Yeah, this
But
team's
yeah,
looking
that team's pretty
crazy.
good.
This
Yeah, he's
Spathra,
got
oh
a squad.
wow,
Let's move on to probably one
Oh.
of my favorite drafts.
bro.
Oh.
I think Brent popped with
It's
this one.
just
Brent did pop with
yeah.
this
I
one.
think
This is gross.
in the middle of the draft, I was
Yeah,
just
you
like,
said something.
because I was like, well, what happened
You're
was
like,
this.
I love this team.
So Brent, like, when he started playing in the league, he just wanted to draft bird Pokemon because he's got like he likes birds. So so he drafted Corviknight, and I'm like, is he gonna get the full bird roster? And he's like, no, I'm trying to win.
Meowscarada.
He said, I'm trying to
Yeah,
win, and then went crazy. I thought his
his draft is
Yeah,
draft
his
was
unmatched.
team
sick.
is gross, bro.
I
I
would
think this is what
say,
you
Yeah,
talked about in the beginning, like the whole. I mean, it was first, actually, just every pick.
yeah.
yeah, I think
Every
that
pick has a good role.
definitely like this is the biggest thing here, and we've said this a few times, is the not going over the minimum here with the draft list.
Yeah,
Um, because like things like if we compare to CSJ, it's like so many different team combinations here.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
but for them, like they have a lot of like crazy picks, but we'll just have to see like how much mileage they get out of them.
yeah, like they're crazy picks, but like you're probably gonna see the core like in week to week as opposed to
yeah,
Swablu.
Yeah.
yeah. He got a couple of my favorite picks from
The,
the
the
Invitational run.
Meowscarada,
Did
Walking Wake,
Tinkaton
Iron
and
Moth back to
Ditto.
Mm.
back to back is crazy. Yeah,
Ditto's
you
really,
love
really
Tinkaton.
good.
You loved him when the game came out.
Tinkaton's good, man.
Yeah,
It's almost Screamtail good, but it's not quite that fast.
but it's got the steel typing.
Yeah,
That Galarian Zapdos those last two picks are crazy. They close out a
yep,
draft.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
I think that Ditto being, I also drafted Ditto, but like I think that that's a Pokemon that like does so well in draft league, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it might have been like just the experience thing that people have didn't draft Ditto or didn't think that they should. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's a Pokemon that you are forced to plan for when you're planning each week if you're playing against Rutgers.
yeah. I think it's like what you said about like even though he has the minimum though, if you're gonna have nine, I feel like that's like kind of this is the exact kind of draft you'd want if you're playing with the league minimum
This core of
mons. Yeah,
Corviknight, Gastrodon,
Gastrodon.
Tinkaton
yeah.
is insane.
Yeah,
And his sweepers are crazy.
he hits all the major type combinations that you'd want.
And take advantage of the photosynthesis and the quirk drive or
One,
whatever.
two,
Yep.
three earthquake immunities. One
Just Terra, bro.
resist.
When in doubt, Terra it out.
Just
Mm.
Terra,
Yeah,
bro.
that's facts, bro.
Galarian
Terrifying.
Zapdos, I
Terrifying.
my one of my dreams has been to draft both Zapdoses, and it's because I think that they're both great for different reasons. And so
Mm-hmm.
in this case, Galarian Zapdos, can switch into a few different things. Like you can proc the Defiant by switching into an Intimidate or a Defog or onto a Sticky Web, which I don't know how common Sticky Web is in this generation, but
It's not
um,
super common.
Oh yeah.
uh,
There's only a couple of mons that can reliably get it up. Like Beto drafted what's the stupid spider
Fight
mon?
ops.
Spite
Spidops.
ops, yeah.
Spidops, Masquerain, and Cricketune, I think, are the only ones that get sticky web
hmm.
right now. So
So, but like that's a great Pokemon to like cover your bases for your other offensive threats. Like if somebody wants to jump in and drop,
Defiant is the best possible way to block defog,
yeah,
other than being Goldango. But yeah.
he has a lot of pivot options.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
pivoting off of your
soluble attacks,
defense.
tell you what.
Yeah. So this is a team I would love to draft, which I think I did for the most part. I have two, I think two of his Pokemon,
Yeah,
but
Galarian Zapdos is a crazy pick.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is a
All
team that
right.
if it's in the hand, if it's in the right hands, it can do a lot. Um, Now to the top here, our very own
Oh, the
Morgantown
goat.
coal miners.
Oh my
The goat,
God.
All
bro.
right, I think Andy and
Yes.
I were when we were
It's
watching.
the goat, dude.
when we were
Blake was talking shit my whole draft, bro.
Wait, what did I
was
say?
like-
Yo,
When I
Wow,
picked
bro.
Claude, that's still the one I saw.
Oh,
when I picked it.
no,
you
I,
have 2 earthquake immunities.
You're like, wow, be original.
that was because you were copying your list from the invitational. But I think when we were talking, Andy and I at some point we were watching the draft and we were like, wait, he drafted Garganical and Clodsire. Like,
Davis was telling me he was gonna try and do that, and I was like, I saw it was still open. I was like, God damn it, he got it. I
Yeah,
don't
he
know
was
how
like,
he
I
got
doubt.
it,
He was
but
like, I doubt you will, but if you can.
oh my
He
God.
texted me
Yeah.
before it was even my turn.
The
in the second round.
Orthworm switch in for both of those.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
what my
gosh.
main problem was with Davis's roster was once again Earthquake, but he drafted around it Earthquake really well. 1, 2, 3, 4 immunities. Yeah.
Does
Galarian Articuno is a filthy pickup if he does it right.
mm,
Yeah.
Competitive. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Give it
yeah.
an adrenaline orb, you're living.
Oh yeah.
Does what is it? What does Adrenaline Orb do?
We got
So
2
if you get it
regenerator
intimidated, it
mobs.
increases your speed.
Mm.
So you get the speed boost, and then with competitive, that's supposed to up your, I think, your
It
special
would up
attack.
your
Yeah, it's your
special attack by
special.
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
it gives you a
Yeah.
nasty plus.
So you do
Yeah.
it right. I mean, who knows if it'll happen or not? I tried, and I only got it. No, I didn't get it because I had a bad switching. But if you get that off, you're a legend.
Insane. Yeah.
Good sweepers and
I'd say a
bolt
good
together.
draft all around. Yeah, this was probably my favorite team of the
Team
minors.
Gamble,
Yeah.
good counter sweeper. I mean, it's a really good team. He's got a double regenerator in there.
Oh, that was the other thing. I think I was like, what?
Yeah, the Aloe Therian
Mm-hmm.
Tornadoes, bro.
That's
A
gross.
lot of tools to abuse there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Got that Poltegeist,
Not
dude.
gonna lie.
My thick boy.
Indeed mail to block priority.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Surge. Got the Psychic Surge.
Yeah.
buff. Yeah, dude.
Does Purifying Salt make you immune to Ghost? Is that one of the things?
It's not immune. You resist it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's immune to status and you resist ghost.
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. That dude, they dropped some abilities this gen that are just unreal. Like
Yeah, dude.
what
Garganackle's
good as
stupid.
gold and purifying salt are the most
They're
ridiculous.
they're
abilities
stupid.
I've
There's some
ever-
stupid abilities.
Like, dude,
Oh,
Goldango's just immune to everything. That's
Yep.
cool. What?
That's dumb.
Doesn't
Yeah,
make
like
any
I had
sense.
someone in the ladder, what is it, the other day, tried to hand me they tried to use the Greninja hand me toxic orb shit when I was on Garg, and
Mhm.
I'm like, that did nothing. Like
Mhm.
yeah, it's dumb. You can't affect him. He's a fucking wall.
Yeah.
Chien Pao's nuts.
Yeah, got the
Yeah.
ice cap, bro.
Jam Pal's impossible to switch into.
yeah, you got.
pretty
You
much
usually have to
what-
leave with it or let it come out right after mom fainted.
and then you just get a kill.
Yeah,
I know
defense
you've
kill.
it's been shown already, but the Alamola pick where you're banding it like is also a really cool tech that I don't
Yeah,
think
dude.
a lot of people are going to be ready for.
Dude, yeah, the choice banded max attack, max HP Ala.
Talonflame, so Gale Wings, right? If it's max HP, gets priority to
Mhm.
flying moves. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Any flying move, yes.
Man, there's a lot of
So
tech.
that's definitely good. I think people for the most part run flame body on it now in terms of
Yeah.
singles. I don't know about doubles. I assume doubles is
On a
different.
flame
but
bodies.
flame body is pretty standard unless I mean in lower tiers it can get away with Gale Wings where it can just one shot things with priority Brave Bird, but you lose your ability immediately, which is kind of the issue. But I don't know. It's still very good you defensively with like flame body hacks just being annoying, you know what I mean? If someone tries to U-turn, you flip Talonflame in, you quad resist it, and you have a chance to burn it. So
The thing that's so crazy about this is the narrative, right? Is like you have Chien Pao that just comes in and like is already a threat, but then you have I've got a breakthrough Garganical Clodsire, Tornadus Therian, and then if I do that, King Gamut's gonna come through and or
Yeah.
or Poltergeist and shred the rest of my team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So I mean,
stupid.
it's got a lot of love.
Yeah, Blake got
That's
that
wild.
Poltergeist PTSD.
Yeah, that was sick though. Poltergeist is really cool.
Dude, I love Poltergeist.
Yeah. I also think that like
I think he's
Davis.
a weak armorer.
Yeah, weak armor. So Davis is also not a true rookie anymore, but basically a true rookie.
Aw, yeah.
Where like this is like their first season, full season playing. I think that the other thing that is crazy is like you've already shown to be like capable of making some like long-term plays in the game. So I think that like there was a couple times I saw you were playing where you roosted on like Talonflame to get its health back, which is really risky because Talonflame can be
Yeah,
killed
hit the
pretty easily.
grounded. Yeah.
And then like saving Poltergeist until the end of the battle, like versus the when we were doing the gym challenge, like
Yeah,
that.
like there's phases. Like I fight in the each how like each
Mhm.
phase of the battle goes, not just like trying to wipe.
Mhm. And your team supports that like right now. So I think that like you drafted in a way that's probably gonna, be augmented by your own play style. So yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's on top of just being a crazy draft, you're piloting it in a way that probably will work for the list. So
Yeah. I also had the greatest practice because I got to play Andy first.
yep.
I played. Yeah, my 2 matches were Andy and you. So yeah.
So this is crazy. So we're done with the minors.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts? Anybody? Do we want to go back and anybody want to say anything about any of the teams before we close out minors?
I do not believe so.
Oh yeah, I think we about covered every base of it.
Great draft overall for the minors. Do not be afraid to trade or do the waiver wire,
Mm,
and take time in prep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All great advice.
It's probably been said, but like most of the people that are playing in the league, even in the majors, like love to scrim, so
Yeah,
it's good
I mean
practice for
Andy's always
everybody.
hitting me up. Well, I was telling Andy too. I was like, I think I already got like about like 8 teams now at this point made for different. For trying a
Wow.
bunch of different stuff out.
Yeah, I
Well,
haven't
you
thought
did.
of.
Did I send you my one video? I think I sent you my one video. Anyways, how I prepped for the invitational
Oh, maybe a
and
little.
stuff.
I
Like
think
all
so.
my, I actually had like the 20-something page notebook.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that, but I know that you've been grinding.
I've seen
But
that. He's been grinding.
Dude, I
so
had calcs in there. Like it was like teams people Andy are gonna use. It's like, oh no, this dude can't like 33% chance to Oka.
mm.
Like,
I think I'll say this. I think to close out too, the minors is going to be super fun to watch this season because there's a
Facts.
variety of things happening. There's like number one, like you have some of the teams like Dino's team, where you're just like, what is going to be done with
how's
this?
that gonna
Like,
go? Yeah.
yeah, but they're also it's like there's so many rookies that it's possible that like you could still work your way through the bracket here and like make a name for like
Yeah.
your team and I think that we
Oh,
also just have a ton of gamers that are into
yeah.
this.
That's what I
So
was about to say. Like Noah and Ricky, dude.
yeah, it's
Like,
like the true rookies are mostly like gamers that are ready to grind, and then the other people that are veterans like have the experience behind them. So it's like there's a lot to look
young and
forward to.
hungry versus the season.
Yep.
Yeah, cause
So,
like yeah, I mean you already know how like I am, but then you know that's literally how like Noah and like Ricky are like they're everyone's cut from like that same competitive cloth. Like once
mm,
they get that taste of it, I think they're about to like by like week like 5, they'll
yeah,
be pretty crazy in the minors.
yeah. Brian and I were talking, and we both really think that Mike too is just gonna add to the personality of the league too. And being in minors, it just creates more of like a
Dude,
I don't know.
he's
I think it'll
funny
be
already,
fun.
bro. He's the one that made that TikTok,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But cool. I think I'm gonna close out the video here. I think it'll just be like a VOD essentially that I'll post somewhere. But
Okay.
good luck to the minors. We'll talk about the majors later today.
Good luck. Good luck.